Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HaLacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, 28th day of October, 29th day of Tishrei. When you hear 29, you know that means you're coming up on Rosh Chodesh. So just to remind you, for your Rosh Chodesh is Monday night going into Tuesday. That marks the last day of Tishrei. And then it's also Tuesday night and also Wednesday, and that marks the first day of Cheshvan. Okay, now we're continuing on in our Hilchos Brachos, the laws of Brachos. You should not fall into this trap, which some people do. They got a food in front of them, like some cereal with maybe a bracha that they don't really know, and they just start the bracha without even knowing how they're going to end it. Bracha Hashem l'kinem ha'olam. And then they look at the ingredients and say, Boromina Mizonos. You should not do your bracha that way. Right from the get-go, from the first Baruch Atah, you should already have an idea that you're saying these are Cheerios, the bracha is Mizonos. I'm positive I checked it out, I researched it, and then you make your bracha, proper bracha. Boromina Mizonos, with that being your thinking since the beginning of the bracha. But to just willy-nilly start into the bracha and say, what am I saying again? And, I'll fill this in when I get to the end. Insert Bori Pri Ha'etz here. Don't do it that way. That's not how you make a bracha. If you did start with the wrong intention, like you started the bracha thinking that your Cheerios were going to be Shehak only Bidvaro, halfway through your bracha you corrected yourself and realized, stupid. You don't say the word stupid in your bracha, but you switch over to suddenly saying Bori Mine Mizonos. You did fulfill the bracha because you did get it in by the, before you got to the words of Bore Mine. But it's just, again, that's not the way to try to arrange it. Have a clear idea in your head what you're saying to God and don't just blab it. Well, now to the classic, and this is a classic mistake that so many people make. They get to a food of something a little complex, like a granola bar, some kind of granola, some kind of vegetable or fruit. They don't even know if it's a vegetable or a fruit, and they go, you know what? Or cereal, of course, that you don't know too much about the cereal you're eating. So people just say, whatever, I'll just make a shehako. That's not really appropriate. Yes, shehako is said on many foods, but you're not supposed to approach it like, I don't know what to do, so the default bracha is shehako, my default is just shehako. That's not proper. What you're supposed to do is be responsible about it and say, I'm eating this food, I better check out what the bracha is before I eat it. But to just say, what the heck, I don't know what to do, shahakal's the default. Yes, kind of, sort of, shahakal is kind of, sort of the default, but you're not supposed to go that way about it. You're supposed to research carefully what you're doing and make the appropriate bracha. If shahakal is appropriate, then make it. But if the proper bracha for that cereal is mizonos, then you should know that. And you should make that instead of just saying, whatever, I'll just make shahakal. That's not an appropriate way of deciding what bracha to make on your food. So, especially foods that you know you need often, research in advance. I have that cereal like a couple times a week. It's really time for me to call the Vada Kashrus of my city and find out what that bracha is, because I eat it all the time and I never checked it. And I've been making shahakal because I think it's the default. Don't go that way. Research your brachas carefully. Say them with meaning and intention. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, because Rosh Chodesh is coming up, I'll wish you a good Chodesh, and don't forget all of your Rosh Chodesh editions in your Monday night davening all the way through the end of Wednesday. Bye-bye, good Chodesh.